Okay, this is sort of how you can get to my book and how to navigate it a little bit with some brief explanation that I want you to have. You go to reducethreats.com. Pretty easy to remember, reducethreats.com as a URL. Once you're into the website, you'll see this, and this is just a front page. It's got some information and some current event stuff that seems to be happening. I try to keep that up to date, and some videos back to my YouTube channel that will help you understand how to protect you. I do a lot of videos like this one. Uh, but about the book, you can come up here, and I have this in um, phone format here, so you can see it in on your how it will work on your iPhone. You come up here to that menu bar, and it takes you to the menus, and you go straight to audiobook. And in the audiobook, there's a brief explanation about how the book's laid out. There's an opportunity for people to contribute $1 against the research that I've done, and I've restricted that to $1. You can't contribute more than $1. So if even people who don't feel like they have the money given, they want to give something, at least they know I'm appreciative of that. Uh, it it when you get past this explanation information, you'll get down here to the actual audio book. And in the audio book, when you hover over the audio book, there is an actual navigation bar here also. So you can go into the book and you can look at the various chapters. You can actually go to a chapter. So if you're reading in a particular chapter and you finish it, you don't have to go back through the whole long line of books to find a chapter somewhere. You can actually go to that chapter, go in, and then navigate to the point in the chapter where you left off. That's all available to you on this book. I'll show you in just a minute. But in this book are some pictures and charts and things that I refer to, and you can't pop them out in here, so I put them down here for you to be able to look at. Now they may be a little hard on a cell phone to review anyway, but when you get back to your computer, you can go into the chart and look at them and kind of get an understanding. This one's about a chart about how you evolve a culture of a person or culture of anything. I use this in organizations too when I was a business consultant. But there's a chart on communication. These two charts are copyrighted. All the other pictures in here are available for you to use anytime you want. In this area, when we get down here, for example, at the last part of the threats chapter, and I tell you which chapter these are in by simply listing the chapter up top. So there's a chapter about threat and suspicion, and it's under chapter 3. And that guy is part of an explanation I was using. And then I use this chapter, for example, to say to people, look at this picture, and does this person look suspicious or not? And then I go through an explanation now. Chapter 4, we actually have how criminals operate. And certainly you can just take this picture and make up your own conclusions, but each one of these categories is broken down into how criminals what they do in these, where you might be more susceptible to seeing a criminal actually doing something, like the three first categories, and the kinds of things to look for and to help you. So this is actually a pretty big educational piece of the book that's important for you to understand. It's important for you to understand you don't live in just one little world. So this is your home. Most people focus on their home, but they don't take an emphasis in their child's educational security in their schools, and that's big right now because we've had a lot of school shootings released. If you're not in there pumping your school administration about what they're doing to keep your child safe, you might be one of those people who ends up in a gym waiting for a call. Uh, Anyway, we get down to chapter 5, and this is actually where we start talking about how you start creating a threat assessment. Now, this isn't your really highly professional threat assessment. This is what I've deduced over 10 years of research and talking to a lot of people, and people who do these for a living, law enforcement and other consultants. And generally speaking, it's not a hard process if it's structured correctly. There's a dozen different ways, and people have a lot on the market to sell you. But the fact is, you can do pretty much the same thing yourself. It's simply a matter of having a structure of categorizing and how to organize your brainstorming, which is what you do over here to list your various threats. Anyway, you'll hear all that in the book. But these charts are all charts that you're welcome to go ahead and copy. You can't copy them. These are obviously pictures, and they're very hard to copy and turn. In fact, you can't turn them into an Excel sheet, but you can certainly take the headings and make your own Excel sheets and set this up to do your own. If you can, then call me or email me, and I'll send you a copy of these, and you can use them. These are not copyrighted in any way. I don't want them to be. I want people to use them. This is the actual, in the end, once you do all this threat assessment, you got to do something with it. And this is actually where you create a tactical plan, and a very important part of the process. And then, of course, the last chapter, which is a summary, really doesn't have any pictures in it. But let me go back up here real quick, and I will show you how this works in terms of the book itself. If you want to go into, for example, let's see, there's a lot of charts and stuff in the actual chapter on threat assessment right here. So what you do is you click on this, and it'll start the chapter. Chapter 5, Threat Assessment. All men can see. Now, you'll be able to then move this anywhere if you happen to stop somewhere in the chapter. You can't go directly to a bookmark. I haven't quite figured that out yet. But somewhere in here you're going to run across these audio visuals, and that's why I put them in the, for example, on this one. Okay, that's fine. So you see how you can do all of that. And now, this is a free book. You're welcome to send the link, this website link, to anybody you want. The book obviously is copyrighted. And it is available on Amazon.com, but it costs $17.50. And that's because of the publication process, and they're wanting a big cut of the book and color pictures and all that kind of stuff. Almost made that really ridiculously overpriced. So that's why I put it into an audio book. I made it for free, and if you want to contribute towards it, like at the front, you can. There's a link up to my Facebook page. If you go to that Facebook page, I really need you to go ahead and listen to the book. Go to the Facebook page, and then it'll tell you how to contribute. Just go to the Shop Now button. It'll take you into PayPal. And I don't keep any of that information, so that's why I send it to PayPal. But there is a section over there where you can review the book and an opportunity to like that page. If you like that page, you're going to get a lot of information that I share with people that I feel they need to hear and know. So this is all about my book. I hope you enjoy it. I want you to just send it to as many people as possible. That's my objective. This is a tool to help you stay safe. Thanks for listening.